So first we're going to start off by parting your hair into two sections. This time I'm using a comb only because I need the parts to be neater and separated, that way I don't borrow hair from a different section while I'm twisting. I already know my part jacked up, so calm down. I wasn't using the mirror, relax. But once you get your hair parted, you separate it into two. And then you take the section that's left out and separate that into two more sections. In total, we're going to have 4 sections when doing this process. After you finish parting that section, you're going to tie that off with a separate hair tie. That way you don't mess up the middle part that you've already created. Now I'm taking my hands and I'm separating the back piece into a smaller section so I can do my first twist. This time I'm using the comb to detangle my hair because I already got most of the kinks out with the white girl brush. I use the wide tooth side of the comb first and then the smaller tooth side to make sure I get everything out. That way my hair flows smoothly when I take out the twist. No knots, no anything. When twisting the hair, I take the 2 strands and I wrap them around my finger. That way I'm having a curl that's twisted. When I take the curls out, I like to wrap them around my finger again so I can have a limited amount of frizz in my curls. When I'm done twisting, I like to apply a little bit of Eco Styler gel to the ends. That way it seals off the twist and it won't unravel. Whenever I'm bending down, like leaning a little bit to the left, that's when I'm reaching for the gel. When combing your hair, try to get all the way to the root. That way it's completely detangled, it blows in the wind fine. You can run your fingers through your hair, whatever you like. It's just no issues whatsoever if you are able to get all the way to the root. Since it's the same thing repeating, I'm going to skip ahead. So now I'm done with the first half, so what I'm going to do is tie that out the way so I can focus on getting the second half of my head done. Here we go! You know you make me wanna cry. So again, I'm taking the smaller half of this section and splitting it to 2 more sections. That way I can have great defined curls when I take them out the next day.
Real shit, you always wanna argue, sit back, relax and gargle, my balls bitch barking, arf, no disrespect, honestly you take me out my comfort zone, none to little control, no shivery, you make me wanna shiver when you think of me, bitch please, counting on my enemies, da-da-da, get a rush when you just think of me, overdose, come and clean my kitchen please.
Evening, starting again, it's like you don't learn, go ahead with your parents. This process could take a while, so I use water to give my hair life again. You know, that moisture that it needs to hold the twist and come out nice and beautiful and bouncy the next day. When separating the hair, you want to make sure that you get 2 equal strands. That way when you twist them, the curls come out even, everything comes out perfectly fine, you have no issues. I slowed it down here so you can see my twisting technique, how I twirl the hair around the finger nice and smoothly so the curls can come out nice and smooth and twisted. That way when I release them and I take them out, there's a limited amount of frizz and a greater definition of curls. Just so y'all know, I was sounding like a commercial on purpose. It was meant to be a joke. That's not how I normally talk. But if you got an issue, we could get it on and popping like... No issue? Thought so. Alright, moving on. So now that I got all 3 sections finished, I'm going to tie those out the way and go to my last section. I'm going to do it off camera so I can come back completed and ready. And I'll talk to you guys about it when I'm done. Alright, here are the twists. Now this is an overnight process. So when you're going to bed, I typically use a bonnet. There's like a satin or silk scarf that you put over your head so it doesn't mess up while you're sleeping. If you want to style your curls before you go to sleep, say you want your hair to go like backwards, you would either push your hair back, tie it down with a scarf or a wave cap, then put the bonnet on, or you can use a ponytail band and tie your hair back if it's long enough, you know. Then you put on your satin scarf or silk scarf and you're ready for bed. So when separating the twists, I usually like to start from the bottom to the top. You find a gap where the 2 strands are not connected and you start to slowly unwind them while still twirling the twist around your finger. This way you don't mess up the curl pattern and you keep the smoothness that we were practicing earlier on in the video. After you separated all the twists in 2, I continue to separate them, and you can feel where your hair naturally wants to separate. It has its own section that it normally goes through when it's in its original state. So when you pull them apart, it wants to go to that section and it'll go there nice and easy. Just make sure you twirl them around your finger just to keep the same curl formation that you had overnight. So this is the finished product of my hair after I finished taking out all the twists. And I actually went outside because I had some things to do today and the wind kind of blew it around, so it's a little bit frizzier than it's supposed to be, but nonetheless it still looks good. It's time to say goodbye with this 808. With this 808. Goodbye with this 808. Bye with this 808. Bye with this 808. It's time to say goodbye with this 808. Bye with this 808. Bye with this 808.